Money. It's what apparently makes the world go around. I mean, what would we do without it? Society is constantly striving to have more and more money in their bank accounts, and many, including myself, become discouraged when they look into their wallets, only to find that they have little to no money. Modern cinema focuses largely on creating spectacles for the audience it is trying to reach. For example, films like La La Land and Star Wars, The Force Awakens, spend millions upon millions of dollars to woo the audience. They also employ accompanying music to emphasize the spectacles and the emotions behind these spectacles. However, it is not as widely known that many low-budget films leave the audience with more catharsis, while also including score that moves the audience just as much as those of higher-budget films. Rocky, directed by John G. Avildsen, was created on a $1 million budget and has a very recognizable and timeless theme. This timeless theme was composed by Bill Conti, a composer who is pretty much only known for his work in the Rocky movies and the Karate Kid movies. Because this composer isn't as known as some others, the budget for music is substantially less, leading to a cheaper movie, but not at the cost of a great movie. It's no secret that remarkable movies can come from a smaller budget, but there is a strong stigma held by most of society and many filmmakers that more money equals a better product, or a greater spectacle. This thought process makes some sense, as more money means more realistic locations, more musicians in the orchestra or band, better equipment, a more popular cast. Yeah, the list goes on and on. However, many films, as previously stated, have defined this stigma.
Didn't see you there. Are you still not convinced that good film can come from little to no budget? Well, guess what? You're living it right now. I'm recording this on my iPhone and using free editing software. Now, I know this is no commercial, blockbuster Hollywood film, but it is a film and it can be interesting to a number of audiences. For example, I have filmed a number of subjectively aesthetically pleasing shots matched with music from one of my favorite low-budget films, Moonlight, composed by Nicholas Britell.
Many big-name composers are hired by major companies to produce high-budget films. These big-budget films tend to spend massive amounts on the music simply to hire a big-name composer. For example, Avengers Endgame hired renowned composer Alan Silvestri, who composed films such as Back to the Future and Forrest Gump. Consider John Williams, the remarkable man composing themes found in Star Wars, Jaws, E.T. the Extraterrestrial, and many more. For Star Wars, the budget for a full orchestra and Williams translates to about $250,000 in today's currency. Halloween was composed by the film's director, John Carpenter, and spent none of its $300,000 budget on the famous music. Now don't get me wrong, credible composers such as Hans Zimmer, Alan Silvestri, John Williams, Randy Newman, Harry Gregson Williams, Michael Giacchino, and Alexander Desplat are all wonderful composers and deserve to be expensive due to their insane musical abilities. However, lesser-known composers can do a similarly amazing job for a fraction of the price. I'm not saying that these composers should get hired any less. I'm simply saying that just as good of a product can come from a lower-budgeted film. So, the next time you sit down in a theater to watch a movie, consider how much you think it's truly worth and how memorable the score is. You never know when a low-budget film will strike gold because it's happening more and more frequently.